Skateboards. We've got Casper's Keeper on the live here with me. We're going to be testing out these new DJI mics and seeing if they work with the live here. So I'm going to go in the other room where she's got my live on. In the meantime, I'll be right back. We're going to be pressing today. We'll be doing a lot today. Let's see how this works. Is it working? Perfect. All right. Well, that's a relief. My name is Casper Jones. I handcraft skateboards for Life Skateboards, and you're watching Days with Casper. Really quickly here, I'm going to share this to a couple platforms. What's up, Marcy? Real quick here, copy this link. Share it to Facebook real quick. And all right, so if you didn't notice, the audio is going to be a little better for this one. So I'm using this DJI mic. We just filmed a whole travel video where we used these for the talking portions. I've got a little indicator light on there, and I've had to have my tripod real crooked to make this work. So if the mic stopped working, we'll just keep going. All right, so if you've never watched this before, this is Life Skateboards being made on Days with Casper. You're gonna watch me load the presses, glue up some boards, and then shape some boards. And if you want any of these boards, you can go to lifeskateboard.com and get some of your own. Really quickly here to get started, we are going to empty out the boards from the long press here. When we empty these boards out, we label what day they were put in the press. These boards are under pressure for 24 hours and then they cure for 7 days in a stack of their own concave. So it's important that we label the dates that they come out of the press here. I'm hoping this audio is sounding a lot better than it used to. We were doing 11, 20, 25, long. So like I said, these are going to go into a stack of their own concave. And they will cure for 7 days before the shape is cut out. Alright, and we are just going to be loading up exactly what we're pulling out of here. And when we get to gluing, I'll be able to keep up with the chat a little bit better, tell you guys about what's going on as far as travel videos, and get to explaining some more stuff about Life Skateboards. If you guys have any questions about board making, how to get these boards, or anything in general, feel free to ask, and I will answer them when I get to them. Who we got? Alrighty, so that press is emptied out there. Now I'm just going to lock down the jacks, so once we're ready to press, we are just good to go. Alright, so let's lock these guys down here. And these were pneumatic jacks at the old shop. We haven't hooked up the compressor through here, so we're going to be loading them up by hand. Little extra work, same results. All right, so that one's ready to get loaded up. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. There is only one board shape. Change your mind. Here, let me just walk into the room where there's over 100 templates of different board shapes. That was pretty easy. Give me a harder task next time. All right. This jack's being a little finicky. There we go. So now we are going to be pulling these. These guys are 925 and below. Pressed on the same day. I'm going to pull these guys out and put them in a stack of their own concave. Again. That's a pretty pink one there. Sometimes that red veneer looks a little pink. I don't know about that, Dartag. I don't make the adhesive, I just make the good skateboards. How do our boards feel compared to other boards? They feel a hell of a lot better. This is the difference between craft boards and factory boards. Let me grab my scraper real quick here. Whew. So, going to be deeper concave, a more solid feel. We use a no-stress graphic application process called Lino block printing. Plus the board's made for you. It's going to just last a lot longer. Long press and cure times, there's a lot of differences between our process. But if you don't want to take my word for it, you can go, I'm sorry, I just tapped the mic. I'm sure that sounded awful. You can go to, just Google us, Life Skateboards. Check our reviews. Our customers have a lot of good things to say about us. The people that have negative things to say about us don't know what good concave is. No, our one negative review is someone who took the time to measure how deep our concave was. So I went ahead and took that information and made an ad with it. And thanked them. Big old thank you to that guy. Whew. I'm real good at losing markers. Sorry. All right. Pull this guy. And then we've got one more to pull off of here. And then we will get to gluing. So we got a little bit to clean off here before we get to gluing. We don't want these, we don't want any excess glue to get on the next pressing here. All right, those are good to go. And grab this and tighten these guys down so that they're good to go once we glue everything up. And then we're going to get over to the glue table and get going with that. Now remember guys, you can get these boards at lifeskateboard.com. If you want to see what kind of options you've got, why we've got different sizes, concaves, all kinds of stuff, you can just check it out there. I'm really glad that these mics are working out today. Alrighty. I tried to set up this weird little tripod here in the corner and it did not work out very well. Thank you guys. Yes, the website is Life Skateboards. What's cool is there's a little indicator light on there that tells me when it unplugs, so I know when the audio is going out. That's nice. But you guys can all remind me when the audio is going out because sometimes I don't notice. Alrighty, so we've got a new roller here today. Somebody asked how often we change the naps on our rollers last time. Not very often. This is a rare occasion here. So we're getting the I've got a little apparatus here next to the camera where the glue constantly drips, so we use every bit of it. Remove anything from the table here. Don't want to get anything inside of your board. All right, and just a reminder, while I'm gluing these boards up, if you buy supers, put a note in there so I can write what you put in there inside of a skateboard. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the longs here. What we're gonna do is glue up 4 boards and then pull those 4 boards, put them in the press, and raise up the presses. So you're gonna watch the same thing happen 4 times, then you're gonna watch it go in there, then you're gonna watch that whole process again. And before we get started here, I'll explain what's inside of your standard skateboard. So you've got 7 pieces of maple. Great Lakes or Canadian maple to be specific. You want something with long winters and slow growth for tight grains, a less porous wood, and maple is just a very strong yet malleable wood, and that's why it's the best choice for skateboards. All right, so inside you've got 7 pieces of maple. There's 2 different types of grains. You've got a vertical grain and a crossband, which is a horizontal grain. It goes like that. So the top and your bottom of your board are gonna be pretty unblemished vertical grains, and those are gonna be your faces. So you've got a face on the top and the bottom. Then the rest of your vertical grains that can have some blemishes and don't have to be as pretty, those are called your core. And then these are your crossbands, like we said. So inside of your skateboard, you've got face, core, crossband, core, crossband, core, and face. And then those all get glued up, put in the press to get its concave, and then later, once they're cured, they are cut into their shapes, sanded and cleaned up, graphics applied, and then they're clear coated. There you go. Thank you. We don't really need to worry about using all other materials besides wood. We make a damn good all wood construction board here, so we stick to what we're damn good at. All right, let's get started here. What's up, Brian? And also, yes, if you got a suggestion on angles that you'd like to see things a little bit better, make it. I never thought that people would enjoy watching this kind of stuff, so I'm always open to suggestions from you guys. Thank you for making them. Ooh. And another heads up, what you can expect on this channel here are lives like this, where I'm gluing up boards, shaping boards, and talking to you guys about it. We also do this series called Lagoon to the Moon, where we, me, my buddy Chuck, Luke, and our soon-to-be unmasked filmer Mysterio, travel around with an anchor spot at Columbia Station, Ohio, at the Lagoon at the Fireball Farm. This last trip we went over to Stoke Run, had a little bit of a flashback of some old clips, and that video will go public, I believe, on Monday. But if you're a member with the channel, which is only $1, you can access that early. I think it's probably the best travel video that we've made. Pretty stoked on it and grateful for these mics and everything. We use Titebond 2 here. Yeah, we did. Really grateful for these mics, and they're working, which is surprising. I will say I got you guys really crooked in a tripod right now to make the mic receiver work. So I've got to figure that situation out. With the holiday coming up tomorrow, I'll probably end up getting a new tripod or something, or at least a new head on Friday. Dang it, that's Black Friday. I don't want to go to a store. I'd rather make skateboards. How much pressure PSI do I treat it with? So these are 20-ton jacks. When I'm using pneumatic jacks, it goes until there's about a second or two between the pops. If you've ever raised pneumatic jacks, you know what I'm talking about. But since we aren't using pneumatic jacks, just kind of go until it holds my body weight. Whatever that number is. Do you use 7 layers of wood? Yes, majority of the time. These boards come as a standard 7. For youth boards, we'll do 6-ply. For our really big boards, and we do make big boards all the way up to 14.6, we're going to suggest you go with a 6-ply, but we will make it a 7-ply for you. And upon request, we will make you an 8-ply. It'll be a tank, it'll be heavy, but if it's what you want, it's what we'll make. Good question, Handle. So the boards are under pressure inside of the press for at least 24 hours. And then they cure in a stack of their own concave for a week. So not under full pressure, but still in the stack of their own concave to prevent any type of snapback. Snapback is where the kicks, which are the ends of the boards, would kind of flatten out, or the concave itself would kind of flatten out. In between gluing stuff up here, maybe I'll show you guys the stacks we got over here. You're asking good questions here, guys. These are this is obviously something that I'm very passionate about, so I really enjoy sharing this with you guys. Real quick, I'll kind of keep you up on what I'm doing here. So, whenever we get 7 layers of maple glued up here, we tape up the ends. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking today, aren't I? We glue up the ends. All right, I'm going to try that for a 3rd time. We tape up the ends. Good job, Casper. Tape up the ends so that the plies don't slide around inside the press. That only took me 3 times to say that. I say it all the time. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I've been doing a lot of editing and not very much talking lately. All right, so there's our first one down. 3 more to go, and then we'll load up the presses. What's the brand? So the company is Life Skateboards, and you can go to lifeskateboard.com and get a board of your own. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you stick around here today, we're going to be loading up 2 of the presses, and then there's some boards in the other room that don't need to be pressed, but while I'm here, I do like to show you guys the whole process. So I'll at least take one of those boards through the shaping. We get our wood from Marwood. It's been our supplier for a very long time. We're actually working with master sheets right now, which is something new to us. We used to have the veneer cut to size, but now we're doing it ourselves. It's been kind of fun. Got to plan out the whole master sheet on what's going to be core and what's going to be face. Sam's got some templates worked out for it. It's pretty neat. What got me started? So I didn't start this company. This company started in 2012. I started a few years back with the company. Sam started it. Pressed his first board in 2012 after he owned a skate shop in the early 2000s. It makes sense. He's a woodworker by trade and skateboarder by whatever makes us skateboarders. I became aware of the company when I was working in a skate shop, and somebody brought one of the boards in and actually lied about where it came from. And then a few years later, here I am making them. We got Gray Jedi in the chat. Huge shout out to you for being a member, bud. Hopefully after this live, man, go check out the new video. Members have early access to it. Lagoon to the Moon 3. We went out to Stoke Run and had a great time. Chuck absolutely destroyed the forced air there. Like everything. First try, it seemed like. Hey, thank you guys for subscribing. Yeah, if you guys enjoy what you're watching, make sure you double tap the screen so YouTube knows you like it. And go ahead and subscribe, because I have nothing that resembles a live schedule. You just got to kind of catch me. So turn on those notifications. I also try to post all of my lives in full. And that way everybody has access to them. And remember, if you become a member, you can access my travel videos early, the Life Take Shapes video early, and things like that. And as we get going here, we're gonna start having new segments like coffee talks. I've talked to the owners, or actually the social media guy from Stoke Run. Talk about doing an interview there, about getting the TriStar mini ramp, everything they do out there. We really only got footage on the forced air area. We were just having too much fun everywhere else. Do skateboards use a specific type of wood? Yes. Great Lakes or Canadian maple. Maple is a strong yet malleable wood, so it's good for the concave and the durability of the board. And you want Great Lakes or Canadian maple because you want slow growth, long winters, because that creates tight grains, a less porous wood, and just an all-around stronger wood. Alrighty, we got another one glued up here. So let's bring that over to the other side, tape it up, and get going. Of course, yeah, like I said, this is something I'm very passionate about, so it brings me a lot of joy to be able to educate people on my passions. Especially when I didn't know about these things at one point. When I worked in a skate shop, I definitely thought that all boards were pretty much the same. And while that's pretty accurate for factory boards, we tend to fix that a little bit. Also, I apologize if I'm getting real loud. I'm used to not having a mic and having to make it so you guys all can hear me. This is pretty cool, being able to just talk. All right, do you choose different grains for different? No. So I've explained this earlier, but there's two different directions of the grains inside of your board. That just gives the board strength in every direction. We aren't too worried about the flexibility of your board. We're worried about the strength of it. Where are we located? The shop is in New Palestine, Indiana. It used to be located in Muncie, Indiana, but we moved. I live in Indianapolis. Always have been. Ooh. I just broke the knife that I used to open the glue bottles. Man, this thing was such quality here. This is a very practically sized knife. Super American. Made in China. All right, we'll move on then. Hey, thank you, Mark. Mark is rad is getting written inside of this skateboard. I forgot how to spell Mark for a second, but Mark is rad. Is the boarding community strong here? I think that the skateboarding community in general is growing at an awesome rate. It's a pretty welcoming community. Everybody's got their shitheads in it, so never get discouraged by anybody. Let's see, I help host contests at my local. If you want to look up anything about my local, you can Google Lawrence Skate Park. See all the projects that we've had going on there, and that's Lawrence, Indiana. Can I make you a board for free? No. I can make you a board for the price of a life board. Popsicles are $75. Shapes go up from there. You can go to lifeskateboard.com and get exactly what you want. That's the truth. Let Gray Jedi drop that knowledge on you right there. I make boards for the company Life Skateboards. I am the sole hourly employee and work here with the owner. Do you do your own custom graphics? Good question. So here at Life Skateboards, the way that we do graphics is with hand-carved lino blocks. So we commission artists, majority by Ben Blakely, to carve these things that are kind of like big stamps, and then we apply those by hand. One of the graphic options is a Casper collage. That's where you kind of let me do my thing. I do background patterns, double printing, and all kinds of other stuff with it. Hey, thank you, Timo. Timo is rad. But that's one way to do it. I always do my own graphics. So everything that you end up having me do on your board is something that I've experimented with on my own. I do have a signature graphic with the company. And there's also a graphic of my dog at the local skate park that we found her at. And that's on the website as well. How long have I been doing this? I think about 3 or 4 years, somewhere in there. You lose track of time when you're doing what you love. Would it be hard to do in your garage? Probably not. Depending on where you're at, you're going to want to worry about climate control, storage, space, that sort of thing. However, as long as you're doing the process right, and even if you're just doing it for yourself, you can always make a better board than what's on the market, because you can spend more time on the end product. Because you're the customer, you know what I mean? You're going to care about it. You're not going to pass any more damage on to you, so you're going to care about it. We sell blanks, but our graphic-less boards are going to be the same price as our boards with graphics. So you might as well just get a single color graphic from us. Wow, thank you guys. What do you need to make a board? Some way to press it. So vacuum sealer, a press. There's other methods of pressing. You're going to need all your tools to shape. You're going to need somewhere to store your boards to cure. You're going to need some sort of graphic application process that's not a heat transfer, because heat transfer ruins skateboards. Even if the majority of the industry uses them, don't puss out and use them. Oops, sorry if somebody heard me say that. And as punishment, they hid my tape from me. Sorry if I'm yelling when I walk away from the camera, guys. This is going to take a lot of getting used to. Now I can't go off camera and mutter things. That's no fun. Plus, it's going to be loud when I go in here and I sand this off. Hey, thank you. I just saw that. When I get back in there, I'm going to thank you properly. Really quickly, just sanding the edges of this down, so bear with me. When you get excess glue on the tape roll, it doesn't want to unroll. The cool thing is we got enough sanding material in here that I've always got something to fix it with. There we go. All right, one more to glue up, and then we're going to load up the long press here. And someone, thank you, Mark. Hey, if you're struggling today, feel free to share it with us. We like to be helpful and positive here. It was definitely the kindness of strangers that kept me going on some dark days. Big thank you to you, bud. Keep going, Mark. There you go. Now somebody's going to have your motivational note inside your board, and we're going to be the only ones that know about it. That's awesome, guys. Stay positive like that. That's really cool. You know, this community really gives me hope. You guys are rad. It's Tight Bond 2 is the glue that we use. What's up, Shane? Thank you for tuning in. I think I saw, what did that say? Where are we based? We are based in New Palestine, Indiana. I apologize if I'm missing things in the chat here, guys. Not intentionally missing anything at all. Just remember, I am working. Hey, hi there, Powerhouse. We're not going to talk about Scientologists here, especially not washed up ones. But I appreciate that you spelled his name wrong. That was pretty neat. Oh no, did I just start something? I sure am making skateboards. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Caught me on the last board here for the long press, and then we're going to do the standard press. Do we dye our own veneer? No, our supplier dyes ours. At the moment, we've got majority natural, but once we get over to the standards, you're going to see some reds and purples in there. Hi there, Peter. You should probably get a better boss then. My boss will regularly be in this chat. See, he's usually in here helping out quite a bit. Being able to talk directly with customers, since our whole thing is that we're open about talking about our process and showing you the process, is one of our buying points to our customers. Just the transparency here. So my boss would never tell me to stop talking to customers. You know what I mean? Hi there, Neonatius. Were you aware that sometimes bad things happen in a place with a name that also has a name somewhere else? It's gonna be okay. I'm in the middle of Indiana, not where anything else is going on, I promise. Oh, hey. Wow, Mark, thank you. Everybody tell Mark to have a great night. Thank you for popping in here, and we're all happy you were here, buddy. Thank you. This person got Mark in their board twice. Oh, hi there, Mr. Magoo. Since you're like the 1000th person that said that, if you could try to come up with something original, I greatly appreciate it. That would be, if you make me laugh while you're trying to insult me, that's a little bit better. Try again. Come on now. And if you have any questions about handcrafted skateboard decks or how boards are made or anything like that, or if you just want to talk about some of your problems, we can get to talking about sobriety, bringing joy to people, making people smile, whatever you'd like. But if you want to hop in here with insults, at least make me smile about them. That's all I got to say. If they're not creative, they're not fun. Use that noggin. Alrighty. No, you cannot get a free board, but you can get a board at lifeskateboard.com. Maple? Yes, it is maple. Give me a second here. All right, so we are going to be loading up the standard press here. If I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat, forgive me. This part's a little bit time sensitive, especially when you start loading up the wrong press. It's been a long day, guys. All right, throw that one in there. So alignment in these presses is extremely important. The boards need to be perfectly aligned or they won't be perfectly pressed. We're going to align 2 of them, throw the centerpiece in, and then double check alignment when we throw the upper mold in. So now we never want to throw 3 inside of the same mold at a time. Once you put more than 3 in there, it kind of starts losing some of its deep concave in the middle. If you ever hear P-Rod talk about which board he pulls from the press, that's a good example of why you don't press a ton of boards in the same mold. All right, so got 2 boards in that lower section. These right here are plastic separators. What they do is they not only separate the boards from each other, but they separate the boards from the press and keep a little bit of glue off of there. Obviously, over time, that's not 100%. And we have a little bit of a unique setup here. So these guys here are for the long mold. So 11.75 to about 9.5 with kicks that are pretty far apart. Right behind me, we've got the same concave with kicks that are closer together. And then right up top here, what we're gonna squeeze into here is actually our youth mold. We're just gonna bounce this in there. There it goes. And we're gonna have to align that top portion again. So we have the option here to be able to slide some youth boards in here. Those boards come as a standard 6-ply. The kicks are closer together and they're a little bit more narrow, but they have the same concave as our other boards. So right now this top part's gonna be empty, but this is usually where the youth boards go. All right, so we're just double checking the alignment as we go here, making sure everything's inside the press, and check it from the back here. Check this one, and we are good to go. I'm gonna grab my sticks and start raising this up by hand. As we discussed, down the road, these will likely be hooked up as pneumatic jacks, but when we move the shop, we just haven't hooked them up back up yet. All right. So these are 4 boards taking shape right here, and I am sorry, but I have not kept up with that chat at all. Remember guys, if you like what you're watching, double tap that screen for me. And if you don't know what you're watching Life Skateboards be made. So this concave is actually pretty unique. There's not really a standard concave. It's just your supplier is going to have their standards. So we don't have a supplier here. We just make our own boards. We just have an extremely deep concave that we're very proud of here. How much did they hurt? Oh, they didn't hurt that bad. It was a little bit just uncomfortable with stretching the skin out. Good questions. What was the point of them? They all came from skateboarding. So that was the inspiration from them. This stick is not wanting to stay as one stick. All right, so you're kind of seeing this curve start here. Hey, thank you, Ghost Rider. Can you choose the bottom deck color in the notes? So when you order a board, right now we're a little low on colored veneer, but if you put in the notes what color you want the bottom rolled, we will happily do that for you. Whatever we can do to make you happy. If we don't have the color veneer that you need, we will use the same ink that we use on the graphic and just roll the whole bottom one color. Do I have any examples of that on the wall? I don't right now. But it looks real nice. If you go to Life Skateboard 1010 on Instagram, you'll find some really cool examples of it. All right, now you're seeing some of that squeeze out there. That's enough glue. Alrighty. And that's enough pressure. So now we're gonna be loading up that guy. Cool? Cool. Shitty opinions. Ooh. This guy right here was done by Matt Jackson, who is currently the owner and operator of Redbird Tattoo and Skate Shop over in Nashville. Huge shout out to him for his amazing work. And then we got the other guy done by Chris, who was at Masterworks and now he's over at OKC. Oh, but all right. Oh, Dang, we got somebody that really doesn't want to matter. Hide user from channel. Cool beans. All right, if anybody else wants to hop off here quickly, that would be neat. Anyway, so we're gonna glue these guys up here. It's okay, Casper's keeper, he can't respond. Nope, we don't make carbon fiber decks here. We just make some really good all wood construction decks that last a long time. We do not need an electrician, no. Thank you though. This, we actually built this shop out from an empty shell. I don't make furniture. My boss is a woodworker by trade, so he will for sure. He has made some masterpieces. Do I need a tea lady? No, my tea lady is also one of my mods. She's actually right over there right now, modding you guys, and she's over there. Come over here and wave. Please? Yay! I dragged her to work with me today, guys. Any unique boards? Hell yeah, we got them. I would check out my personal shape, so go to lifeskateboard.com and Google, and I'm sorry, search Casper. You'll find mine. The aggro is a real fun, unique one. We've got boards all the way up to 14.6 inches wide. Whoa, I see arms. Here she comes. Come say hi. It's Casper's keeper. We found her. She's hiding now. She doesn't want to be on camera. Do I ever game? Not a lot. If I'm sitting down, I'm usually editing. But when I do, it's usually older stuff. For example, the new Skate came out, so I started playing Skate 3 again. We are not in BC, but we are actually located in Indiana, New Palestine, Indiana to be specific. But we just had a good friend come through here from BC. If you possibly have heard of Orion, the guy who is traveling across the US from BC on an electric bike. He stayed at this shop for a little bit. That was pretty rad. How many pieces does it take to make one skateboard? So you got 7 in a standard. You can do 6 or 8. 6 standard for the youth boards, 6 suggestion for our gigantic skateboards, and then you can get an 8-ply if you want one. Oh, you'll be in Indianapolis tomorrow? Awesome. In town for Thanksgiving, or what's up? We do have some cool stuff going on around here. Custom pool shape. I mean, that's a little bit of a loaded question. What I'm going to have you do is just go to lifeskateboard.com and scroll through all of our shapes. We got like the pointy pool, we got the fat pool, we got shapes named after their era. There's over 100 on there. So popsicles start at 75 and then shapes go up from there. So yeah, just check us out. And you can make any board pretty expensive with some customizations, adding wheel wells, extra plies, collage graphics, things like that. So just mess around on there and get exactly what you want. All right, so we got to tape up the ends of this real quick again. I'm really liking this being off frame and still talking to you guys thing. It's pretty rad. I wonder what's going to happen when I'm running equipment and trying to talk to you guys. Does this mean I'll be able to talk to you guys while I'm running the sander and stuff? Pretty excited about that. Maybe I won't send people into anxiety attacks turning on the miter saw. Because that was mean. I didn't mean to do that to people. I'm sorry. You got Fort Wayne in the house. Awesome. The channel is actually going to be taking a trip up to Fort Wayne very shortly here. My first board sponsor was Dead End Skateboards out of Fort Wayne. Huge shout out to Brian Leonard for instilling pretty much my understanding and my work ethic and skateboarding in me. If you guys aren't familiar with what's been going on in Fort Wayne lately, Slam City Skate Park, formerly Fort Wayne Indoor, just made the first indoor concrete skate park in the Midwest. That's right. And then you'll have to double check dates with me, but early December there is going to be a contest. Creatures involved in that. And it looks like Dead End Skateboards is going to start printing boards again, so huge shout out to them. I don't like it when our northern neighbors argue about who's the best up there. You Canadians up there, be nice to each other, because I just want to thank all of you for creating such superior wood to everywhere else in the world. Thank you. You're rad. Hey, thank you, Bay. Did I say that right? Did I just call you Bay by accident? Oops. I'm just thanking people blindly here. What is the hours? Do you mean the time right now or the hours that I work? Because I ain't got... Oh, you're talking about Slam City Skate Park hours, maybe. Is that what you're asking? Oh, what time it is? It's 9:30 p.m. Why am I working at this time? Because I don't have hours. Because I work when there's work. Got here today, cleared off the excess glue from the table here. Got some veneer ready for the live and finished somebody's graphic for him. 7 layers on this guy, but you guys are watching 4 of these get glued up. Wow, there's a lot of you guys on here right now. Why don't we sound off with where everybody's at? And later I like to go back through the chat and check, because you guys are rad. And don't forget, guys, double tap the screen, subscribe for me. This has been a pretty lively live. Thank you, guys. Downtown Indy, I saw that in there. So who's in downtown Indy? We got Indy Scum tattooed across my knuckles right here. I hope their mom has snacks for you. That's all I got for you on that. Columbus, Ohio. I just drove through there Sunday evening. I was in Columbia Station, Ohio, all weekend. Indiana, Ghost Rider. Who could that be? Sure am. Gluing up skateboards. In a moment, I'll be pressing up skateboards. And then, I don't have to shape them today, but I'll shape a couple for you guys, because there's been a... Like I said, this has been a pretty lively live. So... might as well keep it going for you guys. Lancaster, I saw the sign for that one. We've been doing a lot of Ohio trips lately. Been trying to get over to Columbia Station once a month. So you guys will be seeing me a lot in Ohio. And then Tennessee. And then I gotta get back out to Pennsylvania again. Castle Bam is calling my name. We don't need to add reinforced layers here. See, we've just gotten really good at the process of all wood construction skateboards. We believe that the industry has some corner cutting methods like heat transfer graphics, quick press, quick cure, weak concave, and things like that. So by not cutting corners, we still feel that we are kind of pushing the boundaries of all wood construction boards. Do I think the pump track by Nashville Skate Park will be skatable? Yes, I do, because they have an example of one that's not very skatable near them. I've seen asphalt pump tracks that work really well. There's some in Cleveland that are really fun. Hunger Skate Park's built a concrete one in Kokomo that's really nice. And then I apologize, Greenfield. I apologize any advocate that pushed for this or that was a part of this. But Greenfield, Indiana just built a pump track that is very clearly only has bikes in mind. The asphalt wasn't pressed very well. It's very easily chunked out. Better bring a blower if you don't want to eat shit coming around a berm. So I think having that example is going to make it kind of give them an example of what not to do and make them make something that's skatable. And if they don't, oh well, bring big wheels. Oh, I'm sorry, bud. I'm not going to bring any of that nonsense over to here. But what I will say is that regardless of what a few pissants want to say negatively about things, I will continue to go out of my way to try to create opportunity within the community for fun events. Try to keep pushing for more parks and try to keep improving the parks and the lives of the people around me, even if they don't want me to, because I wanna. What is a standard size? That's a loaded question. I really think it all depends on preference. What I usually tell people to do, reluctantly, is grab themselves an 825 with 825 trucks, and then they can bounce to an 8 or an 8.5 to decide if they want that, but without having to switch their trucks. Because a 1/4-inch truck width difference really isn't going to be that detrimental when you're figuring out your board width. But I like myself a 925, so. Shout out to OG Jeff Kendall. If you guys didn't know, Jeff Kendall is actually from Indianapolis. That's right. Wheels of Fire was majority filmed in Indianapolis. I actually tried to recreate it on every existing spot that's still here. And if you don't know who Jeff Kendall is, Google's your friend. Just kidding, I'll tell you. He's the guy that runs NHS. OG skateboarder from Indianapolis. Oh, neat. Somebody got deleted. I like not even knowing what they say. That's pretty fun. Where did I put the tape, Morgan? It's right here. Ooh. Oh, it's all right. I promise you. I'm on the internet. I've heard horrible things said to me by people that don't matter all the time. Easiest way to not get hurt by it is to remember that they're probably just a really sad person behind a computer that feels comfortable letting out their stress on a stranger. And if they feel a little better afterwards, more power to them. They didn't hurt me. It's all good. I might make an example out of them, but it's okay. It's a scary place, isn't it? Do we do custom made? We do customs. However, we have a ton of options here. These boards are made to order. But if you want something specifically custom that's not on our website, you can contact my boss through the Life Skateboards Instagram, and that's going to be Life Skateboards 1010. What's a normal work day look like for me? Pressing these boards here, and then shaping what's ready. What happens when these boards get pressed is they are in the press for 24 hours and then they cure for 7 days. Once everything's cured and ready to be cut, Sam, the boss man, cuts out the shape, and then I get the boards and I shape them, and then he usually applies the graphics. Sometimes I apply the graphics. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi does not reach over to the printing and shipping studio, so I've just kind of posted shorts of that process. That would be so depressing. See? You guys can make good jokes on here. I liked that one. Sam would like that one too. By the way, if you ever feel like just making Sam smile, when you order a board, put a dad joke in the notes. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the skateboards. It doesn't have to have anything to do with your order. And I really hope Sam's not watching right now, so he has no clue where this huge mass of dad jokes in the notes on orders is coming from. I don't make the forms here. That would be Sam, the owner, that did that. Your mini advice for it is prepare for trial and error. That's pretty much all I got for you. Hey, from Philly. You guys are rad. Can I start an argument there? Skinny Joe's has the best Philly cheesesteaks ever. Head took me there when I went to visit Philly. How big is the team? It's pretty nice. You should check it out on Instagram. We've got everybody listed. We just added Jake Daney. We've got Jax. We got Justin, Key, me, Max Doty, Gavin Svetlik, Lyle. And if I'm forgetting anybody, it's not because I don't love you, it's because I have the memory of a dead goldfish. Oh, that would be really fun, Adam. There's actually, you can buy silicone molds to do that. Just look online. It's actually a really cool process. And plus, if you're doing fingerboards, you get to work with exotic woods and not just maple, because you don't have to, have that much malleability or strength in a fingerboard. So you can get away with using some exotic woods or something pretty. I can be right there. All the holes I put in my brain before I got sober. It's easier to blame the head injuries, though. Alrighty. Bear with me for one moment here. Also, the majority of the time, I'm being kept awake by Aromatic Roasters coffee, waiting on a package right now, so I'm having to live on Ghost, because that makes sense, right? Casper drinks Ghost. It's bad for you. Anyway, we're going to load this press up now. Because he had a chicken stapled to his forehead. I like that. Do I speak Spanish? Not really. Stand a little bit. Oops. I can understand a little bit, but not very much. I've got a lot of respect for anyone that's bilingual. I barely speak one language well. Being able to speak two in any capacity is pretty damn cool. All right. So we are just loading 4 up in here, and unlike the other one, this one is just standard. So this guy is for a 925 widths and below. Now for this width, we also have another concave. We offer a mellow. Even though we're extremely proud of our deep concave, we still made that to make people happy. Because some people like flat boards. All right, gonna line these guys up here. Now slide this upper mold in. Double check alignment here, and we're ready to move on. And remember, these plastic things here are just keeping the board separate, but also keeping the glue separate from the press. Trying to keep some of that off of there. Very obviously, it's not 100%. All right, throw this top separator in, and then we'll start raising these up by hand. As we discussed, these can and will eventually be pneumatic presses, but a little extra work, same great results. All right. Good to go. Oh, and it's been suggested in the past, why don't you weld those two together? Make it so you can use both of them at a time. And you'll see at the end here why we want them individual. Not only because we have to replace them individually, but because near the end, you want to kind of push back and forth using one over the other and push any glue around into voids on the boards. This process would be a little bit quicker had I set the jacks up right up to where they needed to go. But not everything got set up properly before this live, so little extra work's happening. Got this guy knocked out of alignment here. What's up?
Here, I'm highlighting a comment for you.
Hey, that's awesome, Josh. That's really cool. So Josh said he was the guy that won the hardest trier because he was busting his ass going for, I believe that was the rock to fakie. And John was looking for who was trying the hardest at the barn. Slight adjustment needs to be happening here, sorry. Using some newer veneer, and I'm not used to how much it sticks out on this side. There we go. Good thing I've got some playtime with this glue, right? Got about 45 minutes of playtime with the glue, by the way. There we go. All right, lock these guys back down, finish her up. She's good to go. All right, here's the part where I said we're going back and forth. Not sure what I'm dealing with here. This is why I like being live with you guys, because you get to watch me figure stuff out. Every once in a while I have a little bit of a problem with the press. But the cool thing is, here at Life Skateboards, we never let a problem turn into a bad board. And there we go. And that's how you fix an alignment issue right there. Perfect. Third time's a charm, right? Honestly, it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as it gets done right. But some of those adjustments are some of the things that happen before I start lives. And we're good to go. All right, so as I said earlier, I'd show you guys these. Got these stacks of boards there. I apologize, Chris. What I'm showing you is the adjustments that have to happen while I'm working. If you're unfamiliar with what's happening, you're watching handcrafted boards be made here at Life Skateboards, live with Casper. You just watched a bunch of boards get pressed. Now you're gonna watch some boards get shaped after I put the glue up. Like I said, I don't have to really shape any boards here today, but we're going to. That's correct. Yeah, wood glue is not, this is non-toxic. The only time you're gonna see me wear gloves is when I really care about how my hands look afterwards, and I do not today. All right, so when we're done with the glue here, bag it up, place something over it to create a seal, bag up the roller, and that's ready for the next day. I just kind of clean this table off here, and we will take you guys into the next room, and we'll see how this mic works while I'm using equipment. Yeah, we are located in New Palestine, Indiana, just 20 minutes east of Indianapolis. This is Life Skateboards. We handcraft skateboards and do everything in-house. Real quickly here, we take the veneer, pull it over here, glue it up just like you just watched, press it in here. It's under pressure for 24 hours, and then they cure for 7 days in a stack of their own concave. Once they're cured, the uncut ends up coming out like this. I have never been snowboarding, no. Hey, what's up, Jackson, Rachel? Huge shout out to those guys. Jax is awesome, supportive mom to one of the kids on our team. So once the uncut comes out and it's cured, Sam comes over here, and Sam attaches the truck holes to this right here. Then he takes one of these templates and attaches the template through the truck holes by this here. These are not boards, these are templates for shapes. He then runs that template right along this bearing here and cuts out the shape. Sorry, this is a jig to make wheel wells. And then once he cuts that shape out, this is what I get. And then it's my job to shape the rest of it. So this edge is not at a 90 to the concave, it needs to be at a 90 to round it off. And you guys are gonna watch the rest of the process here. Yeah, these things look huge, thick, weird. It's because they're flat and just templates. How much is a box of 8125s custom made? So 8125 popsicles are $75 on our website. How much is a box of those? I don't know how many you're putting in a box, but whatever that number is times 75. All right. I gotta air this guy up right here. Actually, you guys can hear me mumble when I leave the room. Sorry, I'm not used to having a mic. I'm having fun with this. I'm in the other room turning on the compressor hose. Now I'm in the other room grabbing stuff. And it's like I never left. I can just keep talking to you guys on a mic. Sorry, easily entertained. This is one of the steps that I'm gonna have to use here. This has an air bladder in it, so I'm just airing it up before we get to it. All right, Casper's keeper, can you walk over to that compressor right there? The compressor right there. Right at the top of it, there's a yep, good. Thank you. She turned off the compressor for me. I'm gone. Hey, thank you for subscribing. A 12-inch board, we can make that for you. We can make you a 14.6 inch. We have boards from 7.75 all the way to 14.6. Check us out at lifeskateboard.com. Is there a warehouse in San Diego? No. We don't need a warehouse. We make things to order. We're a little bit different than everybody else. We don't really want to make a board and then have it sit in a warehouse shelf and then sit on a skate shop wall and then maybe it goes under your feet. We'd rather you tell us you want a board and then we're going to make one for you. All right. I have never used a mic while I've used equipment before, so I apologize about the sound. I apologize about anything that's about to happen. Unless it's good, and then you're welcome. My favorite part of the process is what comes after this one, and that's where the edge starts getting rounded off. So this is a blem right here. This is definitely going to go to a team member. Whenever a board splits like this, it can't go to a customer, so we're going to finish it out anyway. That way we don't have any waste. Alrighty, now you guys are going to get to see my favorite step of the process here, and this is where the edge starts getting shaped. What's the shiny resin on the bottom of a skateboard? That is called clear coat, usually polyurethane. Oop. 1 second here, guys, my mic stopped working. You know what, guys? We're running without the mic now. Casper's keeper, where'd you go? I need you to be double checking the audio for me. Is it working? All right. Sorry about that. This guy's, I think, 10. Here's a question. How much with your own graphic? We don't do photorealistic or custom full graphic because we don't do heat transfers. Heat transfers ruin skateboards. $75 for a popsicle from us, and then shapes go up from there. Go to lifeskateboard.com and check us out. I think someone's a bit confused. Let me just show you guys real quick. Once again, you can have all of this confirmed by going to lifeskateboard.com and checking out what we have here. These are finished boards. So we have graphics. We've got tons of them. The way we do our graphics here at Life Skateboards is we commission a local artist, majority done by Ben Blakely, to make lino blocks for us. So we've got these giant stamp kind of things. We apply all of our graphics by hand. The reason we do that is because even though the majority of the industry uses a heat transfers ruin skateboards. You use heat to apply a heat transfer, and the thing that weakens the bond between wood and glue is heat. So while it's the easiest way to mass produce a graphic or a photorealistic image in general, it's not good for skateboards. So silk screening, awesome. Screen printing, awesome. We use a lino block. So that's, we've got tons of graphics here. Rochelle Mack says, "You do not look good." Hide user from channel. That's so nice. So sweet. So sweet of you to let me know. Anyway, so we're going to go on with the next step here. I like it when people let me know that they're douchebags, because it just like lets me hit that hide thing, and then I never have to worry about them for the rest of their lives. Or my life. I won't know when their life is over, I guess. Ah, there we go. See, if you call me Papito, you're my buddy. There we go. You're my best friend forever. I got called. That made my day. To the Mac wheel here, and then when I get to the orbital, I'll actually be able to see what you guys are saying and keep up with the chat a little bit better. anything. All right. We might even try the mics again. Yeah, let's try it. I've got an indicator light that tells me if they're working or not, so let's give it a try. Nope, this is a skateboard, not a surfboard. Although I have a lot of respect for surfboard makers. But you definitely don't want me making your surfboard. I don't surf. Although I'd have probably a pretty strong attention to detail. I just don't surf, so I wouldn't know the... Hey, the mic's working again. I wouldn't know the nuances of what's important. All right, I'm having a lot of trouble with this tripod today. I need to buy one where the mic fits into it. There we go. These shoes are Warsaw's. They were a gift from my buddy Zach, Yard Dad. Real comfy shoes. I skate Vans though. Yes, I am in the USA. Thank you. Thank you. Oops, didn't mean to smack my mic like that. We'll see if we'll see how this mic works out. I had to disconnect this Festool earlier, so let me make sure it's connected. The reason I don't have to wear a respirator on this step is because we've got a really nice Festool vacuum system hooked up over here. What's the difference between a regular board and a twin tail? So on a skateboard, your nose tends to be longer than the tail. A twin tail just means that the tail is symmetrical both sides. So the shorter side of the board is the same on both sides. You can get anything symmetrical from us. So when it comes to Festool, and I hope you guys can hear me while I'm on this, Festool makes amazing equipment. Their vacuum systems are amazing, but because of the strain that we put on our orbital, it would make no sense for us to actually use the Festool orbital. So we use a DeWalt orbital, and then just hook it up to a Festool vacuum system. That way when we can replace the DeWalt, it's a lot cheaper. So stoked on this mic. Yeah, guys, really quickly, I know I don't need to do this, let this go, but I'm just real excited. This is the first live where the mics actually worked. These are DJI mics. It's just the DJI Mini. I'm not getting paid for this. This is not an advertisement in any way, shape, or form. This is just if you're out there doing anything like streaming, making videos, interviewing people and stuff like that. I think these were only $100 when we got them, which was a week or two ago, and I think I just saw them for 75. So check them out, DJI Minis. It's two of them. I've got a little receiver on the bottom of my phone right there that hooks up to this. I've got a second mic. It's got these little pom-pom things. I like them. They're pretty rad. So I didn't start this, and it was just a long time of building up tools for my boss. So that would be Sam. We don't need to make fiberglass boards because we do all wood construction, but there are some fiberglass boards out there. Ooh, how much more durable is an 8 compared to a 7? So I've got a friend that's extremely heavy-footed named AJ. He bought one of our 8-ply boards and he parked his car on it. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can do it. But I mean, I've heard stories about when we were located in Muncie, a girl came from Ball State and she wanted a cruiser. We set her up with a coffin board. She came back a couple days later because her board got ran over nose to tail, and she needed new trucks because the board was fine, but it destroyed the trucks. So our boards are extremely strong no matter what. I always tell people to start off with our 7, and then if you really need it, move to our 8, but we got you. What designs? You can go to lifeskateboard.com and check out our graphics. All of them are hand-carved Lino blocks from Ben Blakely. This is one of them. This is one of our top graphics. And the cool thing about using Lino blocks is we can give you a sweatshirt or shirt with the same graphic on your board. So when you get a board from us, you'll also see on there that there's apparel options, so check that out as well. Where do you get the mic? I honestly got them on Amazon. I have a signature graphic and board with the company. I ride and work for the company, so whatever you would call that, I guess. Thank you. Yeah, I love sharing my passion with you guys. So it's great because my boss loves that I love to share it with you guys. Sharing it with you guys gets the name out there more, so it's good all around. Do I like old school skateboards? I like when boards were made to last and not made to look really pretty, but then be trash. So yes, that right there is the board that I designed. If you go to lifeskateboard.com and look up Casper in the search bar, you'll find my shape. Muncie's pretty chill. There's a lot of people there. Bob Ross is from there, that's true. They just got a skate park. It's a big range of people there, so you'll run into everybody. Don't judge the whole scene based off of one person. But there's some really awesome, excitable people up there. I'm sure you'll run into Kenny, one of the biggest pieces of energy around that skate park up there. Just a rad dude that supports absolutely anybody that owns a skateboard. I'm sure you'll run into people like Marcus, who rides a scooter and a skateboard up there. Super nice guy, super outgoing, and I'm sure he'll talk to you. Maybe run into Dirty Weasel, Wes up there doing some crazy tricks. There's a huge range of people up in Muncie, so. I actually used to do that. I made a shape called the Death Board, where people would try to kickflip it out in front of the shop that I used to work at. There's a local with a gash scar in his shin just because of that. The biggest board we made. So we actually just made a new mold that's 15 inches wide. So we actually have a couple shapes that are 14.6 inches wide. Yes, you heard that right, 14.6. Why? Because why not? Those boards are available on our website. You can check those out. They've got damn good concave. I'm not sure if I've got any in the stack right here right now, but I can show you the template for it and I can show you the pressing. They are insanely big. We've got the XXXXL panhead, we've got the Mega Roll XL, the Mega Twin XL, and the Agro Extreme. There are several egg-shaped ones, and there's some twin-shaped ones, and there's some spiky ones. So check us out. They're rad. We don't make snowboards, but people have taken our boards and made makeshift snow skates out of them. We got a lot of respect for snowboarding, a lot of respect for snowboard makers. I just don't do it myself, so probably wouldn't be a good thing for me to do that. Of course, guys, I'm going to get back to sanding the bottom of this guy. Like I said, I didn't really need to shape anything today, so I might go ahead and cut it off there, and then what we'll do is pick up on Friday. But we'll see what's going on. Maybe I'll keep this going. But it is 10:30-ish, 10:20. Remember though, guys, I have a video that's uploaded. And if you become a member, which is only $1 for support, you can access those videos early. I'm probably going to set that to a premiere in the next few days, so that'll be members only for a while now. What's the wheelbase on 775? Depends on what you want. So you can choose your wheelbase from us. I believe usually our popsicles sit between 14 and 14.25, but when you order a board from us, you pick the wheelbase. No clue what time on Friday, guys. I'm really sorry. I got to get the lady to work at like 6 in the morning. So I might come straight out here. It really depends on what the boss man has done. But I don't have a live schedule, so if you want to catch me here, what you should probably do is subscribe and turn on notifications. I work when there's work. I work when I've got time. But when I work, I do try to go live. So the site is lifeskateboard.com. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Life Skateboards be made here at Life Skateboards. Hopefully by Friday I've got a new tripod that works really well with this mic setup. We ship all over the world. That's the first question I've had on non-continental US though. So I would just check on our website. It should notify you on what's going to happen with that. I do know that our international shipping is a flat rate. So I'm not sure if that would be up there in the Canada rate or how that would work. I don't do any of the ordering side of things. That's all Sam. But the website should let you know. But whenever people are doing flat rate shipping with us for international, I always tell people order with some friends. You save some on shipping, we lose some on shipping, we sell multiple boards. All around, it's a pretty good deal. Now you're making me look into that though. What all do I do? I glue the boards, I press the boards, Sam cuts the shape out, and then I do all this, round them off, clean it up. I do some of the graphics. I make a lot of the ads for the company. Outside of this, I make videos of traveling, going to skate parks, and I volunteer with a nonprofit called Skate Park Respect, where I clean local skate parks up, and we started a local project at Lawrence Skate Park. So I'm pretty active with keeping that park clean and improving it and working with the city there. And because of all that stuff, I've kind of fallen into throwing events at that local park. We live streamed this last event that happened a couple weeks ago. That was pretty awesome. But that's pretty much what I do. Skateboard. Skateboarding, skateboarding, skateboarding. That's pretty much all I do. If you requested a specific size and shape, would I make it? Yeah, we do customs here at Life Skateboards, but I'm always going to suggest that you go to lifeskateboard.com and search through the hundreds of options that we have there. If there's a shape that let's say you like the nose of one shape and the tail of another shape, let us know and you can contact my boss through the Life Skateboards Instagram. He'll let you know if we can mix those together and make something that's not a full custom price for you. If you see something where you really like the nose of it and you want it twinned, of course we can do that for you. If you see something that you want a hair smaller, it's so much easier for us to make something smaller than to make you a custom shape out of it, because we're gonna bring it down to the shape of one of these templates and then cut it down. But if you do decide that you want to do something full custom, go ahead and contact my boss. That would be Sam Koch. He's usually in the chat here, but he's not here today. You can contact him through the Life Skateboards Instagram, and that's Life Skateboards 1010. There's also contact information at lifeskateboard.com, but Sam will happily do some customs for you. And if it's something that you really want all the time over and over again, make sure you let him know. He'll make a template. You're going to pay that custom price the first time, and then after that, you're just going to pay the normal price. Good questions today, guys. Hello, hello. Spelled very different. Spelled very different. Of course, when you're asking real questions like that, I am more than happy to answer. I really like the community here because you guys ask real questions, you kind of run the trolls away, and you make this fun for me. Have I got a favorite tattoo? Yes, and I'll turn this off to share it. This right here was a graphic that was done by Lurkenstein for Superfly Speedball, which was my bearing sponsor. That was owned by Quentin Bradford, who passed away, and when he passed away, I got this done on me. Extremely grateful. That's my favorite tattoo. I look at it all the time. Jay Sounds did that for me and hooked me up on it. Makes me happy just to look down and see just kind of the goofy things that he helped us out with, because I mean, Quentin's the reason that I got a full page in a magazine. He was the first day I met him was out at the lagoon, Actually where I go on all these trips, out at one of the bash meetings, and sitting around a campfire with him, and the next day we were talking about writing for his company. So yeah, that's my favorite one. Rest in peace, Quentin. Love you, bud. Thank you guys. I'm sorry, I know I'm missing stuff here. How many bones have I broken? A lot's in my hands and feet, and then I snapped my leg. Do you need 2 rolls of grip tape for a 14.6? We've got grip tape up to 12 inches. So just let us know if you want us to grip it for you. We usually do that 12 in stripes for you so we can get you symmetrical lines on there. Is that a cruiser board you're working on? No. Remember guys, a cruiser is never defined by the shape. You've been lied to by the skateboarding industry. This cruiser is defined by the trucks and wheels. So big trucks, big wheels, trucks with risers, loose trucks for cruising. You just listen to my voice crack there. That sucked. But yeah, no, this could be a cruiser, but it's up to the person that buys it. Any rationale for riding a weird shape? Because it's fun. Remember, a popsicle isn't the easiest thing to ride, it's the easiest thing to make. The industry lied to you. A lot of people just got used to riding popsicles, so that's what they're used to. You can pop over to like a square tail that gives you more surface area to pop from. I like knuckle nose or knuckle tails because it gives you some versatility on your pop angle. On my shape specifically, I added curves to make grabs feel really comfortable and front foot impossibles feel very, very, very comfortable coming off of your toe. Where do we sell boards? We sell them at lifeskateboard.com. Lifeskateboard.com. Yeah, I can blame it on it being late, I guess. It's like 10:30. Can I blame it on being late? Yes. Thank you. There we go. I love it. You guys are supportive as shit. I'm tired. My voice is cracking. And you guys are still being nice. Can you see my board shape? Absolutely. I actually have one that I'm about to grip somewhere in here. I added wheel wells to my own board, so give me a moment. Where did I put that thing? What the heck? I carried it in here. It's somewhere. You guys are all listening to me look for something while Casper's keeper looking around like she knows what I'm looking for. What the heck? Where'd you put it? Don't worry guys, I'll find it. This is important. She did know what she was looking for, and I was just being a smartass, and I'm sorry. All right, here's my shape. This guy here. Like I said, I like a knuckle. So this is the 3rd version of my shape. The first 2 were pretty aggressive because I wanted to have something extremely aggressive. Let me pull out the tape measure so I can give you guys some specs on it. And I'll kind of explain the shapes on it before I get to specs. So I wanted more surface area on my nose for my crooked grinds. And if you'll notice here, there's a second angle. When I do a crooked grind, this is straightforward. I like to look at that. These curves here feel really good on grabs. I do a lot of layback air varials. And then front foot impossible sweepers, so my toe goes in right there. I like to do a lot of coping combo tricks. So hanging my heel off here to be able to push into that curve there. Feels real nice. And yeah, I really liked those curves. That's why I kept them. Let's see, I ride 9-inch trucks on it. It's right at 9 inches on the back truck bed and 9 inches on the front truck bed. Gets down to about 8 1/4 at the very center. And then the nose is 8 inches wide. It's got a 8.5 inch wide tail as well. Thank you, I really like this. You can get whatever graphic you want on it. This is my signature graphic for the company. We've got, at the time when the graphic came out, I was doing this jokey boneless Christ air thing. So we've got a scarecrow doing a boneless Christ hair with Casper the ghost ripping out of his throat. The artist even put my tattoos on there. Got my little mom tattoo on there that I got right before this graphic came out. And there's actually another graphic that involves some stuff with me that's here at Life Skateboards. It's on my back here. That would be my dog. Actually, I've got a better version of it. I did this cutout a while ago, but if you're unfamiliar with the story on my dog, like I said earlier, I volunteer with a nonprofit called Skate Park Respect. I clean a local skate park. I got there super early in the morning one day, and there was a dog dumped there. We changed our whole lives to take her in, and part of that was being able to afford to move. So Sam had a graphic commissioned where we did a pre-order on it, and all the extra board sales gave me a lot of work and made it so we could move somewhere to be able to take her in. So this graphic is really cool. It's got Lori, my doggie, and the 8 stair at the skate park that we found her at Lawrence. So she's named after the skate park, Lawrence, Lori. We love her. So yeah, you guys will get to meet her, I'm sure, soon. Whenever I do coffee talks, she's usually sitting at my feet. And I usually go live at the dog park with her. We exhausted her today so I could come into work. But that is available on the website as well. Thanks for getting me to talk here, guys. Thank you, guys. You're rad. Are these shapes harder for flips or easier? I wouldn't say. I mean, you got more board to flip if you got something bigger, but our concave is extremely deep, so it makes it easier to flick. If you go to my shorts on my page, you will see Chuck Bennett nollie flipping a 13.6 inch wide board this weekend on flat. In the edit of the trip over to Stoke Run that's members only right now, but I think probably Friday after the live I'll do a premiere. I also kickflip that 13.6. Yeah, she's definitely never done anything wrong. Little Lori is the best. She was a little bit unruly when we got her, but lots of love and attention, and she's been doing great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's what we do. We put everything we can into this company. You know, we put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, fingers, hair, all kinds of things into this company. That's a little inside joke. But these boards are all made with all 4 hands of the company, all 18 fingers. The boss man had an accident. I've also had accidents. This thing tried to rip my scalp off before. That wasn't very fun. I paid in my hair. But all right, guys. Well, this guy is ready for graphics anyway, and I need to get going. It's about time for me to get home, go see the doggy. So you guys have a great night. Make sure you subscribe for me. If you become a member, you can watch that video that's posting. If not, you'll see that when it premieres, and I'll talk about it live before it premieres. And it's not set as a premiere right now, so you'll see it as a member. And we'll figure that out. I'm figuring this out as we go. Huge shout out to DJI for making these mics accessible. You guys are rad. And shout out to you guys. This has been a super lively, really fun live. And hope you guys enjoy tomorrow. If you're seeing your family, have fun with them. Smile. Have a good day. If you're not, hope you hang out with friends. And if that doesn't work out, maybe I'll do a coffee talk tomorrow just to hang out with some of you guys. Sound good? Good. Have a good one, guys. Get some sleep and have a good day.